Today is March 17th, 2021. This is the Kubernetes CSI implementation meeting. We'll first go down our usual agenda of release statuses. I guess we still have the CSI proxy image promotion issue that Jing is investigating. I don't think we have an update on that, so I will skip this and follow up offline. Moving on to 121. There's one PR out for the adding in a performance E2E test. I just took a look at it this morning. I just had 2 comments on it, so I'll give some time for Ronak to take another look at it. Other than those 2 comments, I think this should be good to go. Next, we have CSI migration.
Yeah. So today, this morning, I saw Yang had some comments on my PR about the fix for the so basically the bug that once we roll back to a non-CSI migration environment, the delete of the PV will use CSI instead of entry. So the current fix, there's still some concern, and I need to rethink about it and talk to Yang and see if we can come up with something.
Okay.
And other than that, I think the Azure topology update have not been complete yet. It's still work in progress, I guess. And I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, this bug fix is the main thing that we're waiting on. I think the other changes.
Yeah. So this thing it's only on the set cars, so we're not blocking the core Kubernetes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. And then everything else that's going on here is like potential future stuff for the next release.
Yeah, except for the topology thing. But I guess we can also update that in next release. It's not that critical.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Thank you. Next we have snapshots.
I think there are just a couple of PRs worked on by Grant. Since Grant is here, you want to give an update?
Yeah, I'm still working on the patch PR mainly right now. I found out that strategic merge patch can't be used with CRDs. You need to use another merge path method. So I'm looking into that today.
Okay.
And the other PR, I still need to move the test suite over to the new area. So I'll work on that after.
Okay. Yeah, so if we can try to get that merged by the, what is the test deadline? Is by March 24th, I believe. That will be great.
Okay, yeah, I thought we missed the code freeze, but I didn't know there's another test.
There's another, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll try to get it in by then.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you. All right. Next up, we have generic ephemeral volumes. Is Patrick here? I don't think so. Okay. I think he just has this doc update that's pending. I've reviewed it and added some suggestions. So overall, it's looking good. Just like a couple minor comments. Next up is storage capacity. I think there's a number of PRs that are waiting on review. I think, Cheng, have you had a chance to start looking at them?
Yeah, I'm focusing on the metrics PR right now. That's in progress. Okay,
cool. Awesome, thank you. All right, Then we have volume populators. Is Ben here? Nope. Okay. I think last time he was going to open an issue to create these new repos.
Yeah, so
I guess I haven't seen an issue.
I think he was just trying. Yesterday, I was in the meeting yesterday, so he was just trying to decide the naming. I think that's because I think he sent out the email, right? And then Saad replied. So they are have a different opinion on the name, because I think Ben wants to call it a volume populated lib, because this is really a lib. But I think Saad want to just call it volume populator, because in the case in the future we are going to move it to a sidecar. And then Saad was not in the meeting yesterday. That's why. So I said, why don't you just go ahead and open issue? Saad can still comments, and then we don't have to create it until we all agreed on the naming. And then and also the data source validate. I think Saad was suggesting volume dash data source one word dash validator, and then Ben wanted to add a dash in the middle between data and source. I think that's a small difference. I think the first one, the one regarding the lib is I think the one that
sure.
We just need to
Sounds good. I think we'll just let Ben and Saad sort it out.
If that so if he opens the issue, then just make sure everybody take a look. Don't get it created too soon. We all agree on the names. I'm fine. I'm not that have a very strong opinion, but I think Ben was saying, if we have a name, then it has to stay. But my opinion was, well, this is alpha, right? If we don't like it, we can change it. So I think he wants to keep the name once we decide it. I guess that's so. But anyway, we'll do.
Okay.
Discuss.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for the update. Let's see. Next up is FS Group. Is Hamad here? Nope. We'll skip over his items. And then volume health.
So Volume health, I think I just need to update the doc PR. I think I opened one, but it's empty right now. And then the other thing is we also need to remove the agent from the external Volume health repo. Ren is working on that.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I actually
sorry, was there anything else?
I just saw that there's an issue, but not an issue. Somebody was asking this question on the Slack, talking about whether we should have the read only to be because right now we are getting that from node get volume stats, right, which only has the volume path and target path. So he was saying he needs to have the read only in there to be like an input parameter. I don't know if this is something that we normally suggest the driver to keep that information.
I guess let's look at our.
Yeah, it's just the only thing available there is really just the path, the volume path, and the target path, the two paths and plus the volume ID. Guess the question is there any additional information we need? So
I guess I'm trying to look at some other node calls.
Yeah, we don't pass those in the node calls. I don't think so. I haven't seen that.
We do pass in volume capability to like resize.
Okay.
I guess a question though is, do we actually have that information?
That I don't know. Yeah, have that. We have to check. But we have the volume, right? So if volume resize can get that, then I think. Oh, but maybe volume resize is the. Just are you looking at the node resize call?
Yeah,
Okay.
node expand.
So yeah, if the volume resize has that, then we probably should have that for the node get, because that's really just from the PVC itself.
The volume object.
Assuming I have to check. So I'll take a look. I'm not sure. Yeah. So does that make sense though? But I think probably need more discussion on whether we want to pass that in. Right.
Yeah.
But maybe, okay. So maybe we can take a look of this. I'll take a look and just see like how does the one extension pass that in, and if it makes sense to pass that in. Yeah.
Yep. Sounds good. Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
So I think that's all I have for 121. Going back to the agenda, Chris has a couple of items.
Yeah. So the first one here, it's basically just a call to attention. So I'm currently working on adding a new access mode to Kubernetes that will be restricting volume access to a single pod on a single node. And in order to support this feature in CSI, while simultaneously trying to address some of the naming confusion around single node writer, there's going to be CSI spec changes. So I think just generally speaking, this bullet point is just like a call to attention that this thing exists. I plan on opening more PRs after this one that address the design around this, that will include all the details of how this affects CSI. And so if you're curious and following along with that, this is just letting people know that this exists. I'll hold off on the design details here unless we want to get into a discussion about that. And then for the other topic here, I wanted to cherry pick changes into V3 of a CSI snapshotter, but I learned through conversation that this wouldn't be possible because we only cut minor versions off of master branch. And it seems like the implication here is that we stop supporting minor version for older majors once a new major version is released, because the latest major for the CSI snapshotter is V4. So I was wondering if there's anything that we can do to work around this, like if we need to adjust our branching strategy to support this, because it seems like we could cut a minor version off of release 3.0, that branch. But I just wanted to kind of discuss this here and see what.
Yeah, I think that's definitely, it's like a new process that we have to discuss. It's like the exception, right, from what we have always been doing. It's a little weird. Yeah, it's possible, but it's a little weird. So I also get some requests from some other people early on actually backporting some very big fixes, which I says no, because that could introduce regressions. So if we are opening door for this, then does that mean we need to take a look and backport everything? If it's like a minor version, then that means not only the ones that you are asking, but we also need to take a look for all the changes and look at all of those and see whether we should make those into this minor version. So I think we somehow need to, and also like, how do we decide, or like after we already cut a major version, in which case we also want to cut another minor version still on the previous major version. Right. So I mean, I think we just need to be able to answer those questions and then decide what to do with it. So one thing I can see that is, so the doc, right? So this versioning support Kubernetes compared this doc we have on our driver, CSI driver doc. I think we talked about like this, how long do we support the, I think somewhere in something says like 1 year. What is the number, something about 1 year?
Yes,
Major.
I recently updated the doc to put in like a support policy. And I, at least in the doc there, I said that we will support a minor version with patch releases for a year, but I didn't put in anything about supporting like an older major branch.
Right. I remember
so I think that's
something about a year. Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah. Here it says every minor release branch will be supported with patch releases for at least 1 year.
Yeah, so that's like a backport, right? So that we know. Yeah, the major release, I do see that we are kind of we basically going between 3.0 and 4.0. It's pretty quick. I checked it. I think it's only like one release, so it's like 3 months. So I think potentially we could use that as a, justification for making this exception, saying, normally, so I don't know what is the normal like support policy for major release, right? So
yeah, I think the problem is that in Kubernetes
has not even gone that far.
Yeah, we're just it's been on 1.0 forever.
Yeah, we should have done that. It'd be easier. Why didn't we just stay? Yeah, we should have stayed in the same. Don't really move up. We moved too quickly. So we could say that maybe major version we also support that for 1 year. At least we say we support that for 1 year. Then we use that as a justification for doing another minor release on top of the previous major version. So that give people more time to move up to the newest major version. But then, okay, so I think that might be, I could maybe do that, but then I think then we need to also take a look and compare the 4.0 and 3.0 and see what are other things we need to add there, right? So like, for example, there was a requeue change that somebody else was asking. I was saying that's just too big. It's like a refactor. I said we can't backport that. But now since we are doing a minor release, then we should get that one as well. So we need to take a look of compare all of them.
Yeah.
So
I think this is definitely a topic we should discuss more broadly, because it does have implications in terms of like our merge process, like how many cherry picks are we going to have to support for every PR that goes in. So I think this is something, maybe we should bring this up at the SIG storage meeting. This might be a topic big enough to discuss there.
I think that
and maybe let's also open up an issue in somewhere, like we should open up an issue so we can just kind of state everything, pros and cons, and start discussing.
Okay.
I have a fairly naive follow-up question here. So when we refer to supporting a particular version, my understanding is this involves making sure that version has basically all of the latest like changes.
Changes, bug fixes, not new features, right? So I think the problem that I have with your cherry pick is that those are new features. If they're really just bugs, then that's a no-brainer. But even with bugs, if it's like very big ones, like the refactor, kind of a bug fix, I'm also kind of hesitant of backporting. But normally a bug fix should be fine. But the one that you are trying to cherry pick is really, those are really features. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. I mean, we can, at least specifically for the metrics thing, we could potentially argue that like the metrics is supposed to be a beta, something that should have been done by beta. Because normally, like, at least in our internal process, like we cannot promote a feature to GA until we have metrics to demonstrate that the feature is working. So
right. I think that
like,
was
at
like
least
before
for us,
before they had that production readiness, I think.
Yeah.
With that, probably they would be required for the beta as well. Yeah. So yeah, so we need to just come up with some a set of rules or something so that we can actually document saying, okay, in this case we could do this, right? It's not like if every feature we can just go open a minor release, then should that be just exactly the same as the potato? I guess that's something that we need to differentiate and we need to document so we know what to do next time, right?
Yeah.
So Chris, do you want to open issue somewhere so that then as that's the starting point, then we can discuss next time in the 6:30 meeting?
Sure.
Maybe add an issue there in 6:30.
Yeah.
meeting.
Maybe create an issue under the CSI docs repo.
Okay.
I think that's where I've been opening issues to discuss like project policies and stuff like that.
Sounds good.
All right. Are there any other topics that anyone wants to bring up? All right, then we'll end for today. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.